We're still facing a very dark winter. We're about to go into a dark winter. A dark winter.
Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakathum, to the hopefully elect. All right, and I'm gonna try to keep this as sweet, short, to the point as possible, because they've been talking a lot about this dark winter, right? A dark winter, right? They keep talking about a dark winter. You see, and you see, because when it comes to the devil, man, when it comes to a lot of their predictions, right, and the numbers that they throw out there, so on and so forth, you gotta ask yourself, how are they able to come up with these numbers? How are they able to come up with these calculations? You see, because for one, a lot of events that, and slacking, let me just, so nobody disturbs. So a lot of these events that do come up, that end up happening, are basically set up, for one. All right. Because basically in this clip here, when you go, like because you have to pause it. I actually paused it and read through everything, and that's why in the clip it posed a question asking, basically, is this a coincidence? Because again, when you go through those documents, all right, which I believe it took place back in 2001, this exercise, as well as other events that have taken place that strikingly pretty much lines up with this so-called pandemic that we're going through today, that we're dealing with today. All right, which again, it's not a coincidence, man, because again, a lot of this stuff is set up. All right, but basically going through these documents, basically in the event of I'm just trying to choose my words carefully here for YouTube, because you know how YouTube gets. But basically in the event that, well, I'll put it like this: what you see going on now with this pandemic, all right, this worldwide pandemic, they can basically enact these laws, right, which everything is gearing towards, because again, you remember, they gotta, in order for them to establish order, they gotta bring in the chaos. So you see, and this is something that brothers, elders have been saying ever since last year, ever since the so-called pandemic started in the first place. You see, because again, even last year they were talking about preparing for a dark winter. That was a thing for a while, and a lot of us, myself included, suspected that they were gonna do something, which it didn't end up happening, But nevertheless, again, they're pushing the narrative again of a dark winter. And just like a lot of us said last year, when a lot of people don't take that Vanessa, all right, they could use that as an excuse to release some type of real deal, all right, a real pestilence, right, to where people are really going to start, bodies are really going to start dropping dead out here, and that could justify them in bringing in, basically locking things back down, going back on lockdown. You see, that's pretty much what those documents, like I said, when you pause it and you read through it, that's pretty much what it's talking about for the most part. All right, I believe the documents, I believe instead of this, that's going on right now, the Crown Royale that's going on right now, I believe in those documents, I think it was a smallpox, if I'm not mistaken. But nevertheless, again, the fact that people don't want to take the Vanessa, they can use that as justification in actually releasing something to where things get so chaotic to where, again, they shut things back down, you see. And the way that and you see, because again, all this is being orchestrated, because I got 2 more clips I want to play, all right, because again, how do they come up with all these calculations and these numbers, these predictions, right? Because right now they've been talking a lot about being that the food the chain supply, the world chain supply is pretty much jacked up right now. It's not where it's supposed to be. All right, you got a lot of ships that are just, sitting out there, and, a lot of these goods aren't getting to the stores, so on and so forth. So what they've been talking about is basically come Christmas, a lot of people are basically going to, pretty much people are going to have a shitty Christmas, and they were talking about how basically because of the global supply chain crisis, I think that's how they're saying it, this global supply chain crisis, because it is, they're encouraging people to go ahead and, do all your shopping now, because again, come Christmas, there probably won't be supplies, because again, these shipper containers and these truck drivers, they're not coming through, basically restocking these stores and whatnot. All right, which again is going to cause because it tells you in Second Esdras, for the lack of bread and great tribulation. You see, they were talking about that in what is that out there in the UK? How because people are panic buying, right? Out there in the UK, man, they're talking about basically gas stations are going dry because people are panic buying. That I believe they said something about how like 90% of gas stations could become dry because people are just panic buying. All right, and the natural resources. I was watching Dabu 7, which actually I think I have a clip by Dabu 7 I'm going to play. I was watching a clip by Dabu 7, as well as other videos, going into about how resources are being sucked dry, man. They're being choked out. You see, and again, because all these things are being orchestrated for a dark winter. And again, this is how they're able to predict things getting bad this winter. You see, because just my speculation, maybe last winter, because again they were pushing it kind of heavy last year, and it didn't really come out to be what we thought it was going to be. But nevertheless, man, over the past year, what we've been seeing dealing with this pandemic, man, it's been nothing but a beta test. All right, and hey, this could be the winter. This could very well be the last winter on this side, Lord's will. Because, hey, you see, I'm going to get this real quick. I'm going to try not to ramble too much, but, I'm just trying to make it make sense. Like the saying goes, make it make sense to people, especially Jake, because Jake doesn't have no idea what's going on, man. Jake, they don't pay attention to current events. They don't know what's going on. Damn, I forgot what I was going to get. But, like I said, this could very well be the last winter. Because, just came back to me. The water Yahweh Shema was shy. You see, because again, man, you got to read between the lines, man. You got to understand when Yahweh Shema Shai is talking through the Spirit, man. You see, because you just had this with the blackout with the internet, with the Facebook and stuff like that, which I plan on doing another video on that. All right. You see, because one way or another, we know the time is going to come where it's going to be lights out for Babylon the Great. You see, and all this internet is going to be shut down. All right. Blackouts and things of that nature. What was the other one? Like Joe Biden, when he recently made a statement about how they're getting impatient with those that don't want to take the Vanessa. You see, which again, all these things to me, all right, Yahweh Shema Shai is letting us know that this it's getting to that time, man. It's coming down to the wire. You see, I'm gonna read this real quick in 2 Ezra chapter. 2 Ezra chapter. Because when Yahweh Shema Shai is trying to warn you, he's trying to give you insight. Hey, man, you better jump on the bandwagon. And just bear with me real quick. Second Ezra. Just bear with me real quick, man. It talks about those scourges. Yahweh Shema Shai is sending the scourges, man. He's sending the jab shots. And you see, again, when the Lord does that, you're supposed to take heed to that, man. You see, because we're in those times now where the different scriptures that talk about how, like Romans 13:11, scriptures like that talk about how we are closer than we're closer to the end than what we believed. You see, because again, Yahweh Shema Shai, he's throwing those jab shots, man, those warning shots. He's letting us know that it's coming down to the wire, man, and we better start getting our act together. I'm trying to look for this precept real quick. If not, then Lord's will I remember to put it in the description. But I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. It tells you how the Lord sends the scourges for an amendment, if I'm not mistaken. Because you see, with all, again, here it is. Come on. So 2 Ezra chapter 16, in verse 19, it says, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for an amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges." So you see, Again, the Lord is sending those warning shots, and we're supposed to be looking at these warning shots like, hey, the Lord is the Lord is speaking, man. The Lord is acting. All right, the Lord's Spirit is moving. You see, and this is why it's important now more than ever to, be on point, man. You know, being on fire for Yahweh Shema Shah, because hey, the Lord, He's visiting the earth as He said He would. He's visiting the earth, right? So that was it on that. Second Ezra 16, 19 to 20, just proving the point that again, the Lord sending these scourges, man, and we're supposed to, you know, get ourselves together, man. I'm gonna also read this since I'm already here. Second Ezra 14 and Second Ezra 14 and 13. It says, "Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people, comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption." All right, so I'm gonna read it again slowly. Now therefore set thine house in order. All right, so hey, get your mind right. All right, get your spiritual, your temple right, man. All right, what does the scripture say? Examine yourself, whether ye be in the faith, because hey, this ain't gonna be easy roller coaster ride that a lot of people believe it to be. You see, I talk with certain people, man, and I just be letting certain people know that hey, man, it's gonna get bad out here, man, and they just they agree for the most part, but the way that they say it, it just lets me know that they know things are gonna get bad, but they really don't understand how bad things are gonna get. You see, they know things are gonna get bad, because you see, to a lot of people, what you see going on now, they think this is bad. You see, they think this is the worst of the worst, and these people, they have no idea what's getting ready to come. You see, but again, this is the time now. Hey, build up yourself a firm foundation while you can, because the Lord's getting ready to wrap it up. Clearly, we're at the end of this thing. All right. It says, "And reprove thy people, comfort such of them as be in trouble." Because you see, especially now that you got a lot of Jake waking up, man, and even in the Israelite community, you got a lot of these so-called leaders in Israel. They're not telling the congregations what's to come, the danger to come. You see, but nevertheless, hey, because that's all we're trying to do is reprove our people, man, and let them know that it's going to get better here. And how will you escape the danger, the trouble? Hey, you got to repent. You got to come back to your true nationality. You got to repent. All right. It said here, you got to renounce the corruption. All right. And Lord's will, we be found worthy. This is why brothers are doing videos around the clock. All right. Non-stop. All right. So yeah, hey, the Lord, sees your effort, man, and the power of forgiveness, the power of mercy is in the hands of the Lord. So hey, that's why, hey, because we all fall short. None of us are worthy, first and foremost. But again, the Lord has the power to forgive sins. The scriptures tell you, blessed is the man that the Lord imputeth not iniquity. Or did I say that right? Basically, the scriptures talk about how blessed is the man whom the Lord, he basically casts your sins away. He just shrugs it off. And we're hoping that hey, when it comes down to it, that the Lord, he just when it comes to our iniquities, the Lord shrugs it off, man. He doesn't hold it against us. We're just hoping that we're found worthy. You see? But verse 14, it says, "Let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, and put off now the weak nature." Yeah, because, hey, like I said, man, this is not the time to be a little bitch. All right? This is not the time to be bucking up, man. If anything, this is the time to be turning up in the spirit, man. You see? Because, yeah, we're still in the flesh and suffering and whatnot, but, hey, at the same time, hey, this is the end, man. You see, and everything that we've hoped for, all of our forefathers, what they talked about, what they prophesied, the visions that they seen, we're in those times. So again, on one hand, we're still in the flesh and dealing with the afflictions, but on the other hand, our spirits ought to be rejoicing, Because the Lord is getting ready to deliver his elect. He's getting ready to destroy this place and deliver his elect, man. And the kingdom is going to be established from there on out. You see? So exciting times that we're in, man. You see? But we'll go ahead and go to these two videos that I got saved up real quick. Because again, it's looking like they're setting the stage for this dark winter. All right, because again, you know, a lot of these shits, man, they're just sitting out there in the water, man. You know, they're not getting to the stores. They're not getting to the shipping docks. They're just sitting out there, right? The truck drivers, man, it's just, you know, the Joe Banana 24s, they're setting the stage up. And again, who's to say? Because, you know, hey, we're coming into those times where, you know, it's flu season now. You know, they not too long ago when they were letting all those Afghan refugees, they were talking about how basically they were talking about measles outbreak. You know, on top of that, you got supposedly there's a new variant. You see, so you know, this is a time now where, hey, people, you know, they get sick. You know, so again, who's to say that these Joe 924s, they don't set something up to where, you know, like I mentioned before. But I'm gonna play these videos real quick. This first one here says how a winter surge of the you know what could take a toll on consumer spending.
Hi, I'm Rex Moore with the Motley Fool in front of BMW's self-driving exhibit at CES.
Yeah, because again, they were talking about they're talking about, just like they did last year. They were talking about another surge come this winter, this fall and this winter. There could be another surge.
Cases still climbing in many states. The weather turning colder. JP Morgan is out with a new note warning that a winter surge could take a toll on consumer spending. So we want to talk to one of the economists behind that note. We have Jesse Edgerton. He's a senior economist at JP Morgan. Jesse, it's good to see you again. A lot of unknowns at this point, but cases certainly continuing to climb in some states. How do you see this potentially impacting consumer spending over the next couple of months?
Well, that's right. I don't want to be too alarmist here. I'm not an epidemiologist or a doctor, so I was interested to hear Dr. Harris on the last segment saying that he was worried about a winter wave as well. But at this point, we are starting to see cases rise again in some of the colder northern states like Montana, North Dakota, my home state of Minnesota, Vermont, Alaska, of course, where the temperatures are falling and which were some of the first states to see big increases last year around this time when the winter wave started. So I think we are watching it a little more carefully, kind of worried about it at this point, hoping that the vaccines will prevent as big a wave as we got last year, but again, are starting to see.
And again, because expect them to come down more and more with those draconian measures dealing with the Vanessa, all right? You see, because they were talking about how, like with the crisis that's going on in the UK and Europe and Australia, all right? A lot of these guys are predicting that's going to come here, and they're right. All right, all that stuff is going to come here.
See the first signs of it there, and then if we do get another significant wave, I think it will probably drag a little bit more on the spending recovery, particularly in the services sector, as we've seen already in the last couple months under Delta.
And Jesse, just going back to what you said a moment ago there, just in terms of the significance of this, so it doesn't sound like you're necessarily expecting as big of a drop as we saw last winter. You're not necessarily expecting that to happen over the next couple of months.
We're hopeful that we won't see as big of a pullback as we did last winter, right? I do think people are learning to live with the virus, as frankly we will need to do. Of course, we do have a large number of people that are vaccinated at this point.
So, and I've said this before, man, several times, because pretty much as long as this virus is around, all right, there's always going to be the need for these draconian measures, all right? Just know and understand that. As long as this virus is around, there's always going to be the need and the justification and the excuse for draconian measures.
So hopefully they in particular will kind of continue getting back to normal and starting to go about their regular patterns. So at this point, we're kind of flagging it as a risk and hoping it won't have too much of a negative impact on the economy.
Jesse, in terms of what we are seeing today with consumer spending, the number that we got out this morning rose 0.8% in the month of August, signaling that this recovery is starting to regain gain some momentum, I should say. We talked to Keith Lerner of Truist at the top of the hour, and he was saying that the consumer in his eye is still very strong. Would you agree with that?
I think it really depends what you look at exactly, right? We have seen a big shift, of course, away from services and towards goods under COVID, as people have been afraid of traveling and going to the movies and things like that, and have shifted towards buying electronics and patio furniture and things, right? And so if you're in that goods producing sector of the economy, then it does seem like things are booming, right? Stores are having trouble keeping their shelves stocked.
And that's mostly Jake wasting the money on stupid stuff instead of, buying things that could actually benefit you in case of an emergency. That's mostly Jake buying the 24-inch rims and the flat screen TVs, so on and so forth.
There's tons of demand for imported goods. The ports are clogged, etc. But on the other hand, if you look at the service sector numbers, some of them are still quite weak, right? We're still down 60 or 70% in terms of the movie box office numbers relative to the trend at this time of year from 2019. The TSA traveler numbers, number of people going through airport security, is down something like 20%. Sports attendance down 20%, right? So it really depends what you're looking at. And then I do think if we get a significant winter wave, that recovery in the services sector will probably stall out a little bit more, right? So we've been hoping that would boost growth here, boost consumer spending overall going forward as you get back to normal in the services sector. If we postpone that further, we could be in for a slower rebound overall.
Because again, basically, if there's another surge, man, and if it gets that bad, then again, that'll be justification on lockdowns. All right, basically Australia 2.0 out here in America. And if that happens, especially in the condition that America's in right now, America's economy, the condition that it's in right now, it would not survive another lockdown. All right, because I often use the example of, look at what the first lockdown did, man. It almost completely eradicated the middle class. All right, to the point where a lot of businesses are still struggling from that. They're still trying to bounce back from that. So hypothetically speaking, if this wasn't in the will of the Lord, right, then yeah, if there's another lockdown, basically, man, America's economy will take forever to recover, you see. But again, just the fact that the talks of a possible resurgence, all right, of another wave. Like I said, now this is a time where you got the flu season. All right, this is the time now where people are more susceptible to catching sicknesses and stuff like that, taking more trips to the hospitals, right? Going to the doctor's offices and things like that, right? And again, what's to say that they, with this whole narrative of the Vanessa, they're gonna push this narrative with the Vanessa, all right, and then when they don't get the quote-unquote herd immunity, right, then again, that could very well be the justification on them locking this place back down. All right, but I'm gonna play this last clip, right, again, going into this global supply chain crisis, right, because again, all this is being orchestrated by the Joe Biden 24s. So I'm gonna play this and then get into some precepts.
How exploiting IRS 408M3 can pay you.
This is Dapu 7. We are facing a major shortage, and this is all by design. You can go to the coast and you can look out and you can see the boats sitting in the waterway. And they have shattered records here in the past few weeks in terms of just the Los Angeles and the Port of Long Beach ports that sit there on our west coast of the United States. Now, in terms of other things, we're looking at this massive power crunch coming through Europe and also from China. And in terms of the UK, they're saying that they have a trucker shortage there. That's going to inflate the prices of goods ahead of Christmas. And then when you look at the whole thing with China, China is having this whole thing climb higher and higher and higher. It's all by design. Just like the boats sitting out in the water for no reason. It's all by design. Trying to get people to see we are getting choked off by the global elite. Can you not see this? At the same time, Russia, right on cue, collapses its supplies into Europe. Now, back when Trump was still our president, he initiated a few different things before he left office. Well, during his tenure, we were swimming in natural gases. Fracking allowed this. That all stopped, got sealed up, and they started to export tremendous amounts. Okay? They then told the American people, you're not allowed to sell coal. They've shut down states, literally, that depended on coal, made them poor. You see what they've done? Used this scheme of climate change to say you can't do this, you can't sell your coal, natural gas. But yet the government's selling coal to China, and China is buying it in record amounts. You're not allowed to sell it to them. You're being scammed and schemed at the highest level right now. It's time people wake up, and I hope you see what's coming. They have an orchestrated global energy crisis coming to clamp down on top or on the heels of this whole scam that they've pushed on everybody. So get ready. Coming down all avenues. I'm going to break this down further on the next live show. Make sure to join me next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, only on D Live. Hope to see you guys there. Much love.
So yeah, man, again,
this is Dabu7.
One thing is going to lead to another. All right, the stage is being set for a dark winter, man. It's going to get bad out here, man. And this is why we need the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, Lord's will, like I said, man, we're found worthy. All right, because that's the only thing that's going to carry us is the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, the spirit of the Comforter, the spirit of truth, man. And just through the spirit, man, because I got a few precepts that I wanted to touch on, but I'm just going to get, I'm going to get this real quick in Psalm 37. Could you see when it comes to the hopeful elect, hey, we're going to be taken care of through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, because again, this is going to be like a domino effect, man. You see, hey, matter of fact, let me get this real quick before I forget it. In Matthew chapter 24, and this is why Yahweh Shai said this. Matthew 24. Matthew 24:19. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. Because you see, man, this is not the time to be trying to establish yourself, have children, you know, try to be the family man. Now, granted, a lot of brothers have wives and children, you know, and whatnot. You see, but again, because, hey, even with what's going on right now, you still got a lot of people that are blinded, you know, thinking that not only are they blinded, but they're proud, full of pride. These people really do believe that this place is going to bounce back and it's going to get better. You know, you just got to wait it out, you know. These people are in that mindset. So you still got people trying to chase the bag and chase a career and so on and so forth. And this is not the time for that. All hell's getting ready to break loose. And when you read on to verse 20, it says, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. So you see, the point I want to touch on is this winter. Because again, And this is probably going to come out a lot within the next few months, the next few weeks and months. All right, because again, they've still talking. That goes back to the first clip that I played, man. And you know, over ever since this pandemic started, they've been talking about a dark winter, a dark winter, a dark winter. Why do you think that is, man? Because hey, just put it like this, man. It's a hell of a lot harder to do things when it's hella cold, man. You see, they were talking about that shit that happened in Texas some months ago, earlier this year, right? Where people were literally freezing to death. You know, people forgot about that, man. You see, people forgot about that. But hey, who's to say that? Because they were talking about how that can trump what happened in Texas and Kansas, Missouri. You know, that cold vortex that took place, that it swept those different states and whatnot. They're saying that could trump, or excuse me, they say that could be basically a walk in the park compared to this winter. And again, how do you think they're able to come up with all these predictions and these calculations? For one, like I said, a lot of it is orchestrated. They have the technology. You look into something called, well, I'll spell it out, the HAARP, right? You know, where they can manipulate the weather and whatnot. You see? So who's to say, man, that hey, this could be this could be the winter to do it, man. This could very well be the last winter on this side before all hell breaks loose. You know? But again, going back to the point, because like I said, it's a hell of a lot harder to do things when it's super cold, man. And you know, Jake don't like the cold. You know, hey, going back to that last winter, right? A lot of brothers that like are up north and they have to deal with that type of weather, like out in Chicago and other places that gets cold. It got so bad, man. Last winter that it got to the point where some brothers, they weren't able to go out and prophesy, man, because it was that bad. You see, so who's to say again? This winter could it could be 10 times worse. You see, and not only is it a hell of a lot harder to do things when it's hella cold, but you're more susceptible to basically getting down with their program. You'll be a hell of a lot more susceptible, because this could be a time, hey, this winter, this is when they can come in full force, kicking indoors, lining people up out in the front yard, right? And it's super cold, man. You can't put nothing past these people. You see, because they were talking about Joe Biden and his administration talking about going door to door, right? It's stuff like that, man. So hey, I'm gonna read it again. Matthew 24:20. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. So hey, this dark winter, man. Again, this could very well be it. This could be it, man. And matter of fact, I'm gonna just get this and I'm gonna end it off in Matthew chapter 6. All right, because again, we need the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai. The hour of temptation is vastly approaching us. All right, it's about to get hella, man. It's about to get bad. But you see, I'm gonna read this in Matthew chapter 6, and this is included in the Our Father's prayer, man. This is why it's good to go through this prayer every day, man. Say this prayer at least once every day. Because if you don't know what to pray for, this is what the Our Father's prayer is set up for. It pretty much covers everything. All right. So I'm going to read this, because included in the Our Father's prayer, Matthew 6:13, it says, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. So you see, because again, included in the Our Father's prayer is for Yahweh Shemel Shai, to not give us in come this hour of temptation, man. That the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai is dealing with us, and we overcome. We overcome the beast. We overcome the Revelation 13, 16, and 17. We overcome these things. You see? So this is our hope, and this is what we're hoping for, that we be delivered, we be spared. The Lord spares us. All right. The Lord preserves us, man. Because again, it's not, hey, and this is a part of the comfort, comforting our people, man. Because, the Lord can make a way. You see, Yahweh Shema Shai, he's the one that's orchestrating it. So, who's to say, I'm going to get this real quick. And then this will probably be the last precept in Isaiah. Just bear with me real quick. Because one thing, man, you can't contain the Lord in the box, man. The Lord he's the almighty power, man. He could do anything. So, the Lord puts us in these jams, man. It's nothing for the Lord to take us out of it. I'm going to read this real quick in Isaiah 59:1. It says, behold, Yahweh's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy that it cannot hear. So you see, the Lord put us in his jam. If the Lord puts us in, because some brothers are going to be put in concentration camps. Some brothers are going to be separated from their wives and children. All right. We're entering into the straight gate. All right. So, hey, a lot of us, we're going to be put in that straight place, that straight position, that position of difficulty. All right. But, hey, like I just said here, neither his ear heavy that it cannot hear. So, hey, if you're calling on the true names, Yahweh Shai, all right, the Lord, he'll heal you, man. He'll hear you and he'll deliver you. It's nothing for the Lord to deliver us, man. You see, the Lord's hand is not short to where he can't save us, like I just read here, man. So you see, but yeah, man, hopefully this was edifying, man. Giving all praises to Yahweh Shema Shai once again. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh Shema Shai Barakathum to the hopefully elect. Lord's willing, until next time, Shalom.